Hey, you two Rex, I'm Jake.
I'm Rose.
I'm Nikki.
And this is Ratcast Podcast episode, I think 17 of season 3?
Wow, yes.
Yeah, this is going by pretty quickly, huh?
Oh my gosh, we're over halfway through the year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I always considered the 8th month for some reason, the beginning of the end of the year.
The beginning of the
I
year.
consider it over by now.
Yeah, the halfway mark doesn't feel halfway enough.
No,
No.
it doesn't. It feels like we're still, the year still just is going.
Now we're on the down.
We're on the descent.
Same for when we're watching TV series. When we hit episode 8, it's like, it's going to finish soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to start off with, instead of a funny fact, it's a little quote here from the author of My Hero Academia, Kohei Horikoshi, because he just finished the My Hero manga. It's all done. So he left a little bit of a small speech here. The manga My Hero has concluded in this week's final issue in Jump. I've been exhausted for a long time, but I managed to make it to the end. Thank you to everyone who read it. I will never forget the joy and weight of being able to battle with so many interesting manga from the coveted Jump. And above all, the fact Deku was entrusted by Luffy's side on one of the covers, even if only for a short time, even if it was just luck. I'm still drawing Deku and the others for the comics. The anime is still airing, the movies in theaters, the games are still going, the spin-off manga is still being serialized. There are events, and there's so many people keeping up with My Hero, so it doesn't feel like it's over at all. Please continue to support My Hero. Plus Ultra.
Plus Ultra.
Oh, that was so sweet. That was such a sweet send off.
Yeah.
It's done. That's surprising.
Yes. It's another era right there.
Yeah, I wonder how that feels. Like something that you're working on for years and you finish it.
Seven, what is it?
It's 7 seasons.
Seasons
but
so
the manga's
far.
Been going longer.
I know, I'm just saying 7 seasons is a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And he stayed pretty consistent on releasing. He did really well.
Brutal.
Brutal. I bet you he was like happy for Olympic interruptions. It's like, oh, an extra week.
Well, that's the show.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's maybe trickles down.
I remember there's a lot of spin-offs that people were talking about might get their own TV show. There's one called Vigilantes. I think I talked about that a long time ago. It's just a bit darker, a bit grittier. It's about a group of heroes who aren't sanctioned pro heroes, but they're doing things underground, and they have like a connect through Eraserhead. And people really enjoyed that one. So I wonder if that will ever get a light on TV.
Cool.
But, yeah, so I've been watching Oshinoko as well during this week, and I was just wondering if you guys have changed your mind in the Kana versus what's her name?
Akane and Kana.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
No, my mind's not changed, but I talked about my emotional state towards it. In order to stay, emotionally stable, I have resigned myself to going through the arc. It is indeed an arc where he's going to be hanging out with Akane more. It's going to look like they're going to gel more, whatever the author wants. But the annoying thing is, like, people make good points that Kana is not a nice person, but I still...
But I already know that.
Yeah, and he's also not a nice person sometimes.
Yeah.
So I just... Fine, but I don't like all of the logic. That's annoying me. So I'm just going to go through the arc. This is the arc right now.
Are you sure you feel like Kana is better with him, or is just first come, first serve?
It could just be what first come, first serve. Yeah.
Like whoever they endear to me first gets the spot.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Like in every instance of the manga or manhwa, they introduce, even if it's just like passing, like the main love interest doesn't say anything. But they look at each other, and the main character's like, who was that?
OTP.
Yeah, and then immediately they start introducing to like the other second male leads, but they know male lead has to get introduced first.
Yes.
Has to be her first like.
Because I want to compare that to Steins Gate. Because I remember that hand touching scene that you were like, that's a thing. That's a thing in Japanese anime. And to me, it was like, that's just happened.
It's giving them a plastic bag.
I was like, why did they slow that down? It makes no sense to me. But he flashed back to it multiple times in the recent episodes.
Yes.
So it's like, oh my gosh, it really was a thing. So that changed my mind, because to be honest, I was totally on the ship. Like, I was okay with Makase and him becoming a thing.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, their little squabbles are so cute, and everyone is like, are you guys like best friends or something? It's like, oh, okay, they're trying to tell us something.
Yeah.
But now that I know Mai, she came first, like, my brain is like,
Oh, you were talking about Mayushi. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
what hand thing with Makise happened?
No, sorry,
Yeah,
Mayushi.
okay,
The bag when she was giving her, or she was giving him.
I'm on track with you now.
Yeah. But anyways, now that I'm like, that happened first, I'm like, sorry, Makise. Sorry.
I was about to ask actually whether you were going on that because I thought you were talking about Makise. Is like, what about Mayushi here? Do you really see him being with Mayushi?
I'm middle of the road. I feel like unfortunately, I feel like this is going to be one of those animes where they never tell us who he's actually going to be with, because I can tell like he genuinely cares for both of them, and his affection for Mayushi has always been there.
Yeah.
But like he's also endearing to Makise, and they also their brain works well together.
Yeah. The way I look at it is, it's kind of, here's some more comparisons with Oshinoko. It's kind of a similar situation where I don't think Okabe's relation with Mayushi is 100% healthy. Like, I think there's a lot of dependence there, and like over dependence. I think of with, Shinoko, Kana and Aqua get along because of negative reasons. The way they both are very naturally just works. They are able to stand each other, but it's another way to gain chemistry. So it's not. I don't know that it's a good thing the way that they get along, and the same with Mayushi and Okabe. I think Okabe is attached to her for reasons he needs to heal from. So I don't know. I don't want to say that negates his relationship as being like valid. I just feel like, is that good for him? Makise, even though they argue and that's their chemistry, it's kind of, I feel like it's healthier because they're being honest with each other. But I don't know.
Even though I'm pro Akane, I do kind of see Akane's relationship with him to be the unhealthy one in this scenario.
I agree.
Because she's not only, she's supportive of murder, which I'll take that and put that somewhere separate because of anime.
Yeah,
because
but
anime.
She's also really attached to him because of the whole he saved her in the first place thing. And so she's kind of got like almost like a obsession / like almost to the point of being a yandere, but not quite.
That, if we didn't put that scene aside, I would say hell yeah. But because we put that scene aside, I think it's almost.
Like, I feel like they gel better, chemistry-wise, than him and Kane, but I feel like the reasons they're gelling and the other things that are in the background, like the negative stuff with the murder and all that stuff, and her obsession, I feel like it's dark enough where it's a problem.
Taints it.
Whereas with Kana, even though they bicker and I feel like there's hostility there and toxicity there, I think that toxicity is actually somehow better than the positive toxicity of Akane saying good job to everything he does.
Yes. I kind of feel like, for me, the reason why I feel like I just started like figuring it out while you were talking. The reason why I don't think I like Akane that much is because she likes him to the point where she's not going to be honest about anything. And no matter what he likes, she'll be like, yeah, I'll like that too. Like, she doesn't actually have her own. She's not trying to be her own person, even in the relationship. It's just like anything
he needs.
Anything to be next to him, basically.
Yeah. I guess that is on.
While I agree with agreeing with the really negative stuff like the murder, for instance, so far, and assuaging the stuff that you brought up, I have actually been waiting for a moment where I see that plainly. Like, I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. It's just that it hasn't come up yet.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for a moment where there's something that she really, I feel like she wouldn't be okay with, and either she okays it or something that upsets her that she doesn't tell him because she doesn't want him to be upset with her. I'm waiting for that moment. If that moment happens, then I might actually flip.
Yeah.
But I am giving her the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, they haven't been overt with that. Yeah.
Kana, I brought it up. I don't remember if I brought it up last podcast, but I know I brought it up in the episode at one point. I felt like the parallel of when they were in rehearsal and what's his name?
Oh, yes.
Aqua was feeling a bit down because he couldn't really get into the motions of acting. Akane was just like, it's okay, you'll get it, and then Kana
Like
was
straight shot.
was like, you suck, you're terrible, get better, noob, basically. But she did nice with the nice.
There was more tact here.
Yeah, but she was saying it to be honest,
Yeah, she
because
was
you
more
can't
direct.
improve unless you're honest. And I feel like that's gonna parallel both of their relationships, where Akane is gonna be like, whatever you want, whatever makes you feel better, whatever. She doesn't actually care about whether he's becoming a better person. She just
Wants to be closer.
wants to be whatever it is needs to happen for her to be the one next to him. Whereas Kana is gonna like kick him in the butt and be like, no, murder bad, you know.
And that's where we disagree. Murder good. But yeah, I'm interested to see that.
Yes.
I'm wondering how long it's going to take for that to happen.
Yes.
Because at the same time, months have passed, and they time skipped the hell out of the play.
Yes.
I was not expecting that. I'm pleasantly surprised because I didn't want to like drag
it
through
out.
so many episodes of them learning these same concepts over and over, or rather just crawling through learning these concepts.
Yeah, or like interpersonal
Yeah.
conflicts or whatever.
But since months have passed, this work relationship should have had time to blossom into. Now there's a conflict, you know. You know, a lot of shows, they show the relationship start and either the show ends or it goes by so slowly you never actually see the problems that would come up in a relationship. Because months have passed, I can now expect a moment to come up where now they're dealing with Akane and Aqua. How does this actually work when the plague goes away? Because that's the only reason they're working together right now.
Right.
I mean, having this work relationship, rather.
That too.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd never see her.
Yeah, at the moment, I think we're at 10 months of their relationship, their work relationship.
And how long is a work relationship anyways?
I think they were just trying to go long enough where they're like, oh, sweet today actually makes a relationship.
Writing that.
Writing the hype.
Yeah. We brought up Steins Gate halfway through there. I wanted to ask you again, now that episode 12 has dropped, we're on episode 13 now. What do you guys feel about the show? Because this is where a lot of people feel that the show kicks into high gear.
Yeah.
For real.
Okay, so I don't know if we can talk about
you
this
kind of have
without
to bring
spoilers.
it up.
Yeah.
Episode
okay.
13, very big thing happens in Steins Gate.
Spoilery spoilers, okay? Like I'm trying to like reconcile, like I feel like it's probably this is gonna be the contention of the rest of the series, is
trying
him
to
trying to
save Nigh.
bring everything back to where he wants it to be, back to where it's supposed to be. Maybe even far back enough to where he hasn't made the machine yet at all.
Yeah, you're probably right. He's probably going to be starting to regret trying to do this in the first place.
Yes.
But I think part of the problem is also going to be figuring out at what point is still safe. Because is it before they get into the heart of CERN? Is it before they get the IBN? Is it before they meet Moeka and tell her anything? Is it before she takes a picture of him on the street? Like, she was obviously, I think she took a picture of him because of her memories or whatever she remembers, like, connected to CERN. Like, at what point is safe? And is it even safe that he just stops? Because CERN has time control in the future, so they can probably go to another world line that he did do it and just steal it from there, you know? Yeah. So he probably has no option. Like, he probably thinks, I just need to go back far enough in time, and then he realized, no, I just have to keep going forward and fix this. I have to be the Messiah.
Yeah, because even if he finds a way to escape, he saves Mayuri or whatever he wants to do, CERN is still killing everyone in the future.
Yeah, it's just still
they
apocalyptic.
Need someone to save them.
Yeah.
John Teeter came back in time to try to fix things.
Yeah.
And it ain't working.
Yeah.
Spreading rumors on 4chan does nothing.
Does nothing.
Does nothing.
I think he was spreading rumors to contact someone. I think he knows he needs to find the person, but I think he didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
I think there's something wrong where he travels, he doesn't keep his memories. Like,
yeah, he said that.
Right. So I think that's his problem. Like, he traveled back, but he can't do anything. So it's like, I don't remember. I just know I have to save the world from this.
Yeah. I think it was that, like, he traveled back, but he can never discern whether he's in a different world line. Like, when they change world lines, it's just his reality.
Yeah, he said he's pretty much flying blind.
Right. So I think that's his problem. Because at first I was like, this guy has all this information and is doing nothing, but I think that's why he's on 4chan. He's like, whoever the guy is, he's gonna find me here. So I'm just gonna throw some darts out there and hopefully stick someone in the eye.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's how that works.
It's kind of hilariously dangerous. It's like shooting a shotgun into the dark, because what if CERN gets you?
Yeah, CERN could get him first.
There's
Maybe-
so much danger.
Maybe it's like one of those things where he's like, he had to be somewhere noticeable enough where the right person would find him, but not too noticeable to where CERN would be concerned.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I was thinking no one's gonna take you seriously if you're talking about time travel on 4chan.
Yes.
Unless you're Okabe.
Unless you're
But
Okabe.
dude, it's like goes back in time, tries to be secret, gets a wiki page.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. It's like, it reminds me of like people who like write a book in hopes that the government won't like, kill them.
Oh yeah,
That kind of
that's
thing.
supposed to keep them safe.
Yes,
Yeah.
by making themselves famous. They become too big to fail, I guess.
Yeah.
You can't
I
just kill them.
disagree.
Yeah.
Because killing them would make them would prove their point.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
How long do you think before Okabe actually says something to
I
somebody?
know.
Because like it feels like at this point it's like I'm trying to. Okay, so there's this YouTuber I watch called Forge Labs. He he plays Minecraft, but he makes the stupidest decisions, and it's the most like monkey brain, lizard brain decisions when he's in panic.
Oh yeah.
He's like, there's like this specific type of monster. They play with mods in the game. There's a monster that's like literally like it can barrel through mountains to get to you. So what does he do? He goes straight home. He goes straight home, which is in a mountain, but still he goes straight there, and he's like, why did I come here? Why did I come here? It's like, what? You were why? It's like it's so obvious to go away from the place, but like his first thing is like I'm in danger.
I want to go to my safe place. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of like Okabe's like knee-jerk reaction is his whole thing is like
Just
ignoring the
safe.
problem,
Yeah.
go into like world where everything is
Yeah.
okay, and like force that to be reality. I feel like that's what he's constantly doing.
Yeah. Now he's being forced to realize reality isn't what he wants it to be, because, I mean, for instance, he went back in time. So he knows where Mayushi is. He knows she's not picking up her phone. Then he goes back in time, still tries to call her anyway.
Yeah.
You know where she is, and he knows she's not going to pick up her phone.
Yeah.
Why would he even call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shows that
He's not thinking.
he's in lizard brain.
Yeah.
He really is. Something else I was thinking about, the fact that he doesn't say anything. We've talked about this, where this is just his thing, because it seems, I think we came up with a good reason why, because he's always been with Mayushi, and he's never, I think he's probably tried to explain, and it just didn't work because she didn't understand, and he's given up on trying to explain things to her and just drags her along. Because in the last episode, she was saying how it's been a long time since you dragged me around
Like this. Yes.
because she would look down and see their hand. He was holding her hands like, oh man, it's been a while, huh? So it seems like it's a thing he used to do a lot, where he's like, we're gonna do this. Like maybe he got himself in trouble. It's like, I gotta get you out of here. Let's go. And she's used to just going along. And the last episode as well, she was like, you do a lot of things that I don't understand, but this time I really don't understand. And it just shows that she's kind of getting sick of it.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't like that you don't tell me. And then the other thing, she was like, I'm really sorry, I can't help. And that sounded like it comes from it comes almost like as a condemnation of, you think I'm not smart enough to help you, so you don't tell me. That's how it feels to me.
Yeah.
Where she's like, I'm really sorry that I can't help you, because that's obviously what you're saying. I can't help you. That's why you're not telling me the truth.
Yeah.
So it's just very interesting to see the mind of Okabe, where he is just a loner. That's why he doesn't tell anybody anything, because he's used to not being able to for so long, and now it's only spring since he's had these new friends. He's not in the mental space or practice to entrust himself to anybody. So I feel like, I don't know if it'll happen, but I would like for that to be some sort of character development at some point.
It does seem like Christina is she puts her foot down, and she's the only one who does. She's like, something, I recognize it. I'm not gonna pretend I don't see you going crazy. We'll talk later, because I see you're not gonna talk now, but we'll at least talk later.
Yeah. I think that's the benefit of her being able to argue with him.
Yes.
which is something Maishi rarely does. She'll just be, I'm disappointed in you.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst feeling.
I'm just waiting for Christina to kick it up a notch.
Yeah,
because
please.
honestly, there's several situations. I mean, even in the past, where I'm like, you really don't say anything here, Christina.
Yeah.
So I feel like while she is very smart, she is closer to Okabe socially than she lets on.
The fact that she's a 4chaner.
The fact that she's a 4chaner, all the anime references,
She's an otaku. Yeah, I think she really is that.
I think it's trying to reference that she isn't as socially adept as she portrays herself to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. That's probably why she's not like picking up as much as she should.
Or saying when she
Or
clearly
saying.
knows something's off.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I'm trying to think, is it true that she doesn't say it as much? Because I think every time we've noticed that she notices, she at least says something. She waits a little bit, and she usually waits until they're alone, or says it in a way where only he would pick it up, like with the text. So I feel like she has said it, but she's not pressing as hard yet.
Well, that's what I'm looking for, because I feel like when you're dealing with time travel and they know people have died, right? They know they're being hunted by CERN. They know they're dealing with this. They're trying to make him time leap.
Yeah, she should
And
be
he's on the
more-
couch and goes,
Yeah.
"No, I'm fine." 'Cause I feel like, especially given in the past, she's already realized there's sometimes he just won't say anything on really important
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
She should be like, "No, you're not just gonna run out of here. You're gonna either try to explain it to me, or I'm coming with you." Something like that, you know.
Although, in her defense, we've seen it happen like 4 times. For her, at most, it's happened twice.
I suppose that's true. That's true. It's just I feel like what's at stake here is more than just a friend acting weird one day.
Yeah.
It's like people have died. We're being hunted.
Yeah.
You know, and then you run out of here and you say just run. Where? What do you mean run? Anywhere? Like that's alarming.
Yes.
You know, we're time
alarming.
traveling.
Yes.
We're being hunted. You know,
So.
That is alarming.
but I can hear you though in that maybe she just doesn't feel like it's her place yet. Even if she's been here for a while, is a recent addition to the team.
And even though she's more acquainted with his eccentricities than to his like real self.
Yeah,
So
that too.
when maybe she's questioning, okay, is this
that
just him
just-
being weird, or is this
Yeah.
like a genuine thing to be concerned about?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point too. That's why in Mayushi freaking out when he was freaking out, she's like, "This is not normal," because she knows him better. So she's like, "Listen, you gotta explain yourself, boy. Use words."
We could walk and talk. That
Yes,
exists.
They
but,
walked
you know,
until night.
yes.
Till night.
They had time.
We had time.
He had so much time.
It's like,
He
listen,
could have called Makise and Daru had them on a 3-way. I'm like, listen, guys, help me come up with a plan to save my
Which
chief
I
from
think-
dying.
I think that leans into what you're saying with her saying, "I'm sorry, I can't help," if she was feeling dejected, because she would have noticed we have all this time, and you're not
He's
saying,
not
it's
saying
because
anything.
you don't think I'm capable of understanding. It's not that you
Yes.
don't want to explain it.
Yes, that's it. So even him promising I'll tell you later is are you promising really? You're just gonna let me forget about it. But I guess that's why she's like, listen, I'm gonna go along with this, but in exchange, she's like making a deal. Like, you're not getting away with this.
Yeah.
You have to tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
In his offense, she is pretty dumb, but she should explain.
Oh, you know what? I had a theory about that.
Theory.
So
Oh?
I don't know if we talked about it or it was just in my head. They keep referring to it. The fact that Makise have said, you know, Akabe and I were talking about how you're the only one who really gets it in this group. I feel like because she is so not into the weeds of what is time travel and being caught up in experimentation like them and how they really want to figure this out, she's able to see more outside as a non-understander. She's able to see more objectively, this isn't right and this is what we need to do. And I feel like she's gonna become the reason, like that dream he had of her coming and finding him wherever he was thrown, I think they threw him there, is because everyone underestimated Maishi and was like, and then she figured out a way to be smart
Yes.
and like do something to ruin everyone's plans. Imagine this whole time he's not the Messiah, it's her.
That would be awesome.
She's somehow searching for him.
Yes.
Yes, that
What
is
does that
true.
even mean? How are you doing that?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. She had to have like gained intelligence about this somehow.
Original Mayoshi looking for original Okabe.
We also have possibly original Christine, the voice thing.
Yes,
Remember
the
when
first
Black Hole-
stream.
because she's also been there a long time. It seems like.
Yes.
Imagine it's like even touching time at all.
You
something
get
happens to you.
split off. Your real consciousness gets split off
That
somewhere.
sounds awful.
Awful.
But we also saw Akira recently, so maybe it's awesome.
No, it's still awful. weird big baby thing.
Space Odyssey. Never saw that movie. Last episode I had asked you guys for shows to put on the list slash more things that we could watch that are coming up. We got more support for Sakamoto Days. If you guys remember, it was this show about the John Wick turned convenience store clerk.
Yes.
So apparently it's a comedy, but most people say it's actually really good. Mm-hmm. So I mean that's definitely on the radar. That show we might give the old 3-episode salute.
Yes.
Let's try to see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Another show that it'll probably do very well is Dan Da Dan. Now,
Dun, dun, dun.
the thing about this show is if we did watch it, it would be the most out there show that we've seen so far. But from what I've been told, it's like a first episode kind of thing. Like,
So it's only in the first episode?
So people are saying like for the first chapter, the manga author went crazy. But then afterwards,
He's chilled.
It's chilled. He's chilled out on that, but then it's peak. So people are saying it's really good, but you got to survive the first chapter. Okay. So the thing is coming out in October, and there's a lot of people that are looking forward to it. The animation looks Mob Psycho level insane.
Ooh. I can see the artwork in the picture here. Mm-hmm. It does look like the way Mob
Almost
Psycho was
psychedelic
psychedelic
colors.
thing that Mob Psycho had. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you know the mangaka?
No. I can check.
Dun, dun, dun.
The mangaka author is Yukinobu Tatsu. I'm not familiar with any other work that he or she may have done, but it popped off.
That's cool.
So apparently it's I don't know. This is the plot. I don't want to read the plot. I want to get the synopsis. But from what I remember, it's in the same vein as Mob Psycho, where they're dealing with the supernatural, except it's crazier. That's all I really know about it.
It's crazier.
It's crazy and it's a bit more mature in themes. That's all I know.
Assuring? Mature. Oh.
Mature in themes.
Is it like that one, the episode we do not speak of type of out there?
Oh, Mob Psycho.
Yeah.
The aliens, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Oh,
It's
wow.
along those lines.
Wow.
Yeah. Especially the first chapter.
The first chapter.
Yeah.
And you know what? He was probably just like, I'm just going to get it all out of my system.
Mm-hmm.
Everything right here.
Like 3 episode rule. Let's just put it all into the first one, you know?
Comes out in October, the same month as Kenshin comes out.
Ah,
So by the
okay.
time those come out, I believe what's going to end? I think My Heroes should be ended by then, right?
I don't know how many
Is that a
episodes.
24 episode?
24, yeah.
Oh, okay, then it's going to keep going then.
Is it what day is it released then?
I wrote it down, but it seems like it didn't get saved. Let me see. Release date October. No, it just says October.
Oh, okay.
It will be on Netflix and Crunchyroll. Interesting.
Ooh. Usually those two
And
are,
Crunchyroll?
Yeah, usually
That's-
those two are mutually exclusive.
Interesting.
By Science Sarah. I haven't heard of them either.
Science Sarah be like, I like both of you. We're going to be friends and have a party.
Yes.
But yeah, Science Sarah, I haven't heard of them. Speaking of companies, though, I was watching a video recently that was talking about the different companies that do animation and stuff like that. It's talking about how you really shouldn't look at the studios that are doing the projects. You should look at the directors and who is working at the studio. Because even the studios themselves have subdivisions inside the studios, and like Team A is not good. Is way better than Team B. And so if Team B is on a project, you shouldn't expect Team A's level of work, stuff like that.
But I mean, how are you able to track that? Director, I understand, but like, who's working on the project? Like, who's looking into
It
that?
seems like it's somewhat public.
Oh,
Like if
really?
you look, it'll say like the team behind it, and then in like the credits, it will say who's doing what and stuff like that.
So the answer is learn to read Japanese.
Learn to read the credits, yeah,
And learn to read the credits.
yeah. Which is, I mean, it's funny. These days in the West, we just look at the director, but if you really want to know the quality of a work, you also have to look at the writer.
Writer, yeah.
Like I'm talking like the live action movies, stuff like that. You look at the writer, look at the stunt coordinator, even, and then you'll know what you're gonna get.
If you have a good director, though, they are probably going to have enough push to call the shots for which writer and such. So I guess you'll probably be like 90% of the time safe if you look at the director and you're like, oh, that's a good director. Like most of the time, you'd probably be okay, right?
I don't know enough. I'm just saying, like, from that video, that's what he was saying.
Okay.
Like, you look at the team and stuff like that.
Well, I'm interested in knowing names. That's why I'm like trying to like if I like a show. That's why I found out who made Mob Psycho and was it on One Punch Man. I was like, okay, he's one of my favorites. One, and his name is easy. So I wanna keep track of like people a little bit more. I don't want to keep track of voice actors because that ruins the experience for me. Once I notice a voice, it kind of like, dang, all I can see is Killua or something like that, you know? So I don't want to recognize voice actors.
That's me with Bakugo right now.
Yeah, I know there's a show where
in every anime I'm listening to, I'm like, shut up. Get out of here, Bakugo.
Yeah.
I love how everybody in the comments, like when I'm watching Crunchyroll, when Crunchyroll had their comments, you would still see like angry Bakugo has entered the chat. This is calm Bakugo. This is alternate reality Bakugo. It's hilarious.
Oh,
yeah. That's kind of how when we're talking about watching movies the other day, when we start seeing actors who can like transcend the role, and people who can make you forget who they are. But after a while, you get so impressed by that ability, you see them through it no matter what.
Yes.
You know. And then you've also got those actors who they're in like a million movies, but you'll never remember their name. They're not bad actors. In fact, they're pretty good actors.
It's just
the
they
fact that you
become
can't remember
too
them.
good at being the character.
Yes.
You'll never remember who they are.
What is the balance? Well, I guess if you're a good actor and the character you're acting is like, what is the word? Like can be in anything. Like Ryan Reynolds' character, you always need a comic. In almost every movie, if it's the romance, the action, the adventure, whatever, you always need the comic relief. So Ryan Reynolds will never be out of a job.
Yeah.
But I think about, and it makes me sad because I like the guy.
The Rock.
The Rock. I complained about him before you guys complained about him. It was like, I think it was a movie with him and the short comedian. Kevin Hart.
Yep.
I saw that movie and I was like, that is just The Rock and Kevin Hart. That is not a character. Yes. I think the best one he did, and I liked it, was because of Jason Statham, was Hobbs and Shaw.
Yes.
That was a good one. But you have said it's just because he just had to be himself and himself worked for that character or something like that.
Maybe I said that.
I don't remember. Yeah, but that is a case where his character does not work everywhere. You know, so it's not as easy to just jump into roles, but unfortunately because he's so big, people are going to put him into random roles and then he ruins it.
Yeah. You know how I actually felt that way about what's his name? Not Sylvester Stallone.
Batista?
No, the other guy.
Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
Oh, Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Yeah, he kind of in some cases, yeah.
Yeah.
Because of I'll Be Back.
Well, not just because of that, but like whatever role I saw him in, he's just Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You know who he's going to be.
Yes, I can tell who he's going to be. I haven't seen I think there's like the Put the Cookie Down, whatever that movie is. I haven't seen that movie. Kindergarten Cop.
Oh.
But I feel like it's going to be a not good enough, litmus test.
Yeah.
There's certain roles that will go across a lot of movies, and it doesn't matter who fills it because it's really slop that's being thrown onto the screen. These aren't masterpiece movies they're in.
Yes,
it's action movie.
Yeah.
Half the action movies The Rock has been in, you can't really remember the name of it. You just remember The Rock was in it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like I feel like if you're gonna do that archetype, you kind of have to make the archetype, but the story can't be about the archetype. It has to be almost like John Wick, where the story is about like this world, even though we're following this one guy who like exemplifies the world.
Yeah.
Like with Jason Statham in The Beekeeper, that was I enjoyed that, even though he was just Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Being a beekeeper, it was still like almost John Wick in that the world around him is showing that these other organizations exist and they're all fighting. We never know, we get told a different kind of news, that kind of thing.
What I'm trying to think of, I'm trying to figure out if he's a character, he plays himself or plays characters, and I feel like it might be both. Mel Gibson is really good though.
He's good.
I think he's very good. I'm wondering, like, he's pulled it off because I've seen him play himself, like, because he was from the show that he kind of got his main characteristics. No,
Lethal Weapon.
Is that a Christmas movie?
No.
Christmas movie.
No.
Die Hard.
Oh, you're thinking of Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. No, I'm not thinking of Bruce Willis. It's Mel Gibson.
Okay.
No, the one where he acts like the crazy cop. What's that? Is that Lethal Weapon?
That's Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking. That character.
Yeah.
Was this crazy guy.
Yeah.
That craziness carried over to a lot of his characters.
Yeah.
But it never like took over.
Yes.
It was just like this thing that you always felt that was there, even if the character never really pulled it out completely. Like I think about the last one I saw. I didn't really see the movie. I just was passing by while you guys were watching it. It was the Christmas when he was Santa. Remember that really dark one about him being Santa and somebody came to kill him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
I
so
remember.
random.
I can't remember his name.
Oh gosh, I can't.
Fat Man.
Batman, right?
Batman.
Because I remember the guy was chanting it
Yeah,
in the
Batman.
trailer. Batman. Yeah, that was
Yes.
great.
And this one, it was a combination of his characters. Like he has the patriot character where he's this calm, not like saged look, the saged character.
Yes.
And he had that in there, and he also had the crazy "I'm gonna kill ya." I'm
Yeah.
Santa, but I'm gonna kill ya.
Yeah.
Feeling. So it's amazing where he's mastered these characteristics, but it never took over his character. And yet you can feel him in every movie. Like he's amazing.
Yeah, I agree, actually. And I think that's like one of those things that's like a behind the scenes war with actors almost. It's like what kind of actor you're going to be. Because, there's always like elitists in any form of anything.
Yes.
We see it in like in Oshinoko where you've got the stage, the theater actors.
Yeah.
And then you got the Playboy guy who's like, I've got my niche here. You're coming over here as a model trying to pretend you're an actor. There's an elitism there. Even if he had beef with them for other things.
Yeah.
There's definitely a factor of him looking down on them.
Yes.
That's what I do appreciate about Oshinoko, teaching us about this world a little bit. They're teaching us about both the actor world, so the live action stuff, and also the manga world, which is cool because I want to understand because we're watching these things. It's nice to get a little meta, and they're doing a good job with it.
Imagine how wild it must have been to be like writing this as a manga and then you're doing the actor part or the anime manga to anime part and then you get a manga to anime.
Like,
oh,
I got fodder.
maybe I should do an anime to stage play thing, see what happens. Yeah, that's awesome.
And imagine all the damage you could potentially do to reputations of all these different ideas. Because what's her name? Kanji Strip said, "Yeah, all these theater guys are just womanizers." Like, can you imagine being a theater guy? Like, what? What? Because now no one will take their phone number ever.
It's true.
Just block them immediately. I mean, that definitely felt like that happens a lot kind of thing. So the other show that got suggested was Delicious in Dungeon. I already put it on the poll for the next poll to go up. Basically, it's for some reason it seems to be a lot of cooking happens in this anime, but it's a dungeon diver anime. So that's the main thing. They're dungeon exploring. It's like D&D kind of thing, like Freerun actually. I should say they're exploring dungeons. But they eat some good food in those dungeons. I don't understand why it's very popular, but it seems to have really good animation.
That's what I was gonna say. It's pretty. People like pretty food.
People do like
I think one of the first introductions I had to anime was like somebody, like an animation of pretty food. Like early on, like on DeviantArt, people were like, "Oh my gosh, look at this scene from this one anime."
There's like no anime, no matter how good or bad the anime is, that has not good looking food. It's like a rite of passage to be able to make a beautiful looking ramen. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny? I remember it made it was a massive meme. There was this one time where this anime did some cabbages and it looked so low quality that they never let them forget it. And the next time they put cabbages on screen, it was the most detailed thing I've ever seen. Let me see if I can find it. The anime cabbage scandal.
Scandal!
I think this is it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what the heck is that?
It's literally like a loaf.
What the heck is that?
Now I will say for the meme I put up on the screen, it's possible that this has been like bastardized over time, so this might not actually even be the image. But I remember it was basically this, where it was like this.
It's a round ball.
Yeah, and people never let them forget that.
Let me cut up the cabbage. Like, you could have thought that was a melon. Why did they call it a cabbage? Why did they even show it?
Other animes make references to this occasionally.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, that's why cabbages must always look good.
Oh, like Avatar, my cabbages.
No. Oh.
But what were we talking about?
You were talking about something?
We were talking about before this.
Anime food, Delicious in Dungeon.
Yeah. This was
Delicious in Dungeon.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's actually got pretty good action as well. Like, there's a lot of good fighting in there. There's actually a good story, supposedly, what I've been told. So, yeah, people are really interested in that. It's up there with Apothecary Diaries of how much it was brought up back when the show was going out. But, yeah, so I put that on the poll. Apothecary Diaries is also on the poll.
I just realized I just saw a picture of Apothecary Diaries, and I realized that I watched like half of it. Because every time you said Apothecary Diaries, I'm like, no, I've never seen it, never heard of it. What the heck is that? I don't know why, but when watching it, I never put
the name and
the name to the thing. It's just something that I watch.
You just watch whatever's in front of you.
It's like somebody goes, watch this. It's like, okay.
No, she doesn't do that.
No.
Or if you tell her to watch it.
Don't watch this. I will watch it.
Dude, that's actually hilarious.
It's hilarious.
So you just go to anime site, click whatever looks good, and
Yes, I choose it by the banner, by the thumbnail.
Okay, so surprise announcement, she's gonna be our guide for about halfway through. Do you remember anything about it?
I do. I remember the basic gist of it. It's actually set in China,
Yes.
instead of in Japan. Usually they either do Japan or usually just Japan. But it's actually set in China.
Yeah, interesting. Wowza.
Yeah. Well, those poll shows, I know we were talking about starting poll shows later in the year. That is still on the table. So either way, I think that's about it, though.
Yes.
All right. Well, guys, thank you guys very much for being here. Guys, if you like your time here, please do like, subscribe if you want to see more. Remember, you can see these a whole month early with the Patreon down below. But also remember, you can leave comments down below about anything that we said or anything that you know about the animes that we've talked about on the show. Either way, thank you very much for being here. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.